Well, story time about today. You're like, what? I haven't seen anything about today. I was like, no, I haven't had time to fix it, so I will fix it tomorrow. So see this as a little trailer and pre-tease, so it became a trailer. Um, no, so today I went to Naoshima, and I woke up slightly later than I would have wanted to, because it would have been nice to have had more time at Naoshima, because then I would probably have had time to visit the art, the Valley Gallery. They have many different art exhibitions and museums there. But oh well. Um, so at the bus, I met like there were two people looking confused, like two gaijins. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna ask them. And they were going to the same place as me. So then I just told them, yeah, this is the right bus, and they're like, okay, thank you. And then when we got off the bus, everyone, I was like, I went up to them. It's like, you were going to Naoshima as well, and they were like, yeah. And I was like, can I trip along? And I was so happy I did it. And I don't know if I talked about it before or if I was just thinking about telling you about it, but it's so important that it's not like you just go to Japan and then everything happens and you have this most amazing trip possible ever. It's like you, in this case me, you gotta put in some effort as well. Like you gotta actually speak to people or make things happen. And I'm not gonna say, oh, this was the most amazing day ever just because I talked to them, but it was certainly probably way more fun than it would have been otherwise, because now I wasn't alone for the entire day, and basically I just kidnapped them and we did all the things I wanted to do. But they were kind of planning on doing the same things anyways, so it's fine. And they stayed on Naoshima, so they have more time to see the island. And they would have said no if they didn't want to. So first, like right at the port, we saw the red pumpkin, which was very nice. And then we went to, because I want to see the Monet, like the museum with the Monet paintings, and it was so nice. I couldn't film inside because it's not allowed. You know by now, you know how this works. So that's a shame. But yeah, you just have to come and see for yourself. I liked the architecture of the entire place. It was very cool, kind of very, concrete glass. It wasn't fancy in that way, but it was still very, very nice. It still felt very, very artsy. And it was nice how the rooms were so big and how they were dedicated to like one or a few pieces instead, because usually you're used to, well, I'm used to, when I go to a museum, there's so many things, so many colors, so many paintings, everything. But here it was rather the opposite in a way. It was very nice. I would definitely go there again. It was a little pricey, but nothing too crazy. I mean, this is Japan. I think it was 2,100 yen or something like that. But that was very, very nice. And then I want to see the yellow pumpkin, because that's the pumpkin I wanted to see. So I told the Americans, like, I don't know what you're gonna do now, but I want to see the yellow pumpkin. So we went and saw the yellow pumpkin. And it wasn't so many people now at the museum, which was nice because she said it in the host that well, it's not as fun when there's many people, because now it was rather quiet. If there's too many people, the noise level will because it echoes down there. So but it wasn't much people, so it's very nice. It's a good time to travel, I think. I really think. And then on the way back on the ferry, I was so lucky because we were at the yellow pumpkin, and like, okay, in 6 minutes there's a bus, so we like walk fast because the bus was close. The bus where the bus went from, and we took the bus. And then when we arrived at the port, it's like, yeah, around 6 minutes till the ferry would leave. And I was like, hey, goodbye. Oh no, wait, let's take a picture. Take a picture. And I was like, bye, nice meeting you. Because after that ferry leaves, there's a bigger gap than usual, so I would have had to wait for 1.5 hours, but now I didn't, so that was nice. So when I went up to the second floor and I was gonna sit by the window, then I just heard something like, no, 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 they're not talking Swedish, Victoria. These people around the table, nah, they're not. You're just, yeah, there are foreigners, but you're making this up. You just, you know how the brain, when you just hear something, you hear your own native language because that's what you're used to. Like that's what you try to, yeah. Um, but then I kept trying to like sneak listen to them, like, oh, what are they saying? And she said something like, oh, här. But that was Swedish. Come on. So, so as a weird person I am, I just walked up to them and then like, hello there. I thought I heard some Swedish. Hey, I'm also Swedish actually. Something like that in Swedish. Very stupid, of course. It's like, we are from the same country. Let's make contact. But it was. I'm sorry about the lightning. It's terrible in here. But yeah, it was nice. And they were like, "Oh, do you want to sit down?" And I'm like, "Okay." So it was a mother and a father and their daughter. I guess she was ish as old as me. But it's nice, and the fun thing is I had things in common with all of them. The daughter also had the same traveling to Japan problems that I had. She was also going to go in 2020, but it was cancelled, and then she also tried to go in between but couldn't. Also has this interest in Japan, and then the mother and I had lived at pretty much the exact same place when I lived in Uppsala and studied there. And then the father had lived in Malmö, which I lived in for the previous year. So I was like, hey, I thought that was slightly funny. But yeah, so we talked on the ferry, and then we were all of us gonna go to Okayama, and then they were gonna go off to different place. So we had a company on the train as well, and I was a horrible gaijin because we sat and talked the entire train ride. And I tried to keep it down, but I could really hear how loud they were, and I was like, but I did. I swear to God, the Japanese people must have hated us. But it's like, for 44 days, I've been the best little gaijin there ever was. I've been so good on the trains. I have not talked, I've not had loud music, so it bothers anyone. It's like I've followed for 44 days. I'm gonna take this one time and actually just have a nice time and talk Swedish with the Swedish people. And yeah, so that was very, very fun. And then I got this food box because now it was super late when I came home, so I got this like food lunch box, dinner box for like 150 yen. I was like, wait a minute. That's an awesome price. So yeah, and that was my day. Very much art, but I'm very happy. I'm really happy about the yellow pumpkin. I'm so happy. And the art museum was great, and I would have loved to see more, but didn't really have time. But such be life. One other thing about Japan, but that I've been meaning to say, which is completely irrelevant for absolutely most of you, but my skin's been terrible. I mean, you can see it's like, especially here, you see it. It isn't usually like that. And last time I went to Japan, when I came back, my skin was like perfect. It's like, like a model. Like, not even kidding. I could have, made a skin cream. Like, it will give you perfect skin. I could have been that person. Like, I do not kid you. My skin was the perfectest ever, but now it's just horrible. So I don't know if if it's my new diet of very much sugar every day and always eating fried things. That's the problem, because I don't know, because this has been for a while now, not just that week of the month, but it's like all the time. So I don't know, but it's like, I don't know. I hope it goes away. Yeah, so that sucks. One more thing is that, yeah, that now it's like, yeah, there's less. It's 44 days. I think today is day 44. So it's like, yeah, it's 83 days. It's like, it's less now. I've been here more than half the time, and I'm happy that it's closing in. I'm happy that it's because now it's the last of February. So like, it's only March and 12 days of April, and then I can go home. Because I kind of want to now. And of course, but I'm glad I have the big, the sakura blooming left, because that's gonna happen well, around the time I go home actually, end of March, beginning of April. So I'm gonna see that, and I'm gonna visit my old host family in Kyushu. So that's also gonna be super nice to do, of course. And I'm gonna see Kyoto. So I still have lots of fun things, but it feels like I can't really take it in, I think. But I do look forward to coming back now. Um, but yeah, like I said, see this as a little pre-tease, and I will put out all the videos on that tomorrow. And yeah, see you tomorrow night.